My name is Jasmine, and I'm going to explain to you why people still support Trump despite the constant things that are coming out in the media about him. Basically, it comes down to the fact that if have you ever had someone that didn't like you or didn't like someone that you knew, and or a sibling even, or kids, and there's like the two that just really don't get along no matter what, and one kid's always telling on the other. I mean, oh, they picked their nose, they did this, they did that. When you know that one person's not liked, and you know that the other person or the other group of people feel that way about that person, as like the ref or whatever, it's like, yes, I get it. You know, I don't want to hear what you have to say because I know how you feel about that person. You're looking for any and every little thing to get upset about and for them to do wrong so that you can go tell on them. And that's essentially what it is. I feel, people say witch hunt or whatever, but essentially that's kind of what it is. It's like everybody's watching him and they're waiting for him to look the wrong way to breathe. And really, it's that petty. It's like, oh my gosh, he walked in front of his wife. Oh my gosh, he did this, he did that. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys are so petty. You make such a big deal about all the silly things, like the little boy who cried wolf, right? When you continue to make a big deal about nothing, that when something finally does happen, it's like you're biased, you are looking for something, and I've seen you not tell the truth about things in the past, so why in the world would I believe you now? And it makes people want to double down. And I was not originally a Trump fan. I'm just gonna say, like, I was all for Bernie, and I got involved in politics for the first time pretty seriously, and I saw all the things that were going on as they were going on, and how the media wasn't reporting certain things because they were hoping that Hillary was going to win, and they didn't want to hear any kind of other voice until they shut out a whole party of people, and they called them Bernie Bros. They said, they're awful, look at what they're doing, they're these angry mobs and whatever. And when in fact, that wasn't even what was happening. Like, they were really skewing the truth, and they weren't showing the whole picture. They were only showing certain things, and nothing that led up to anything, or they were just giving you a one glimpse of a story. And even if it wasn't someone that had to do with the party, or it was something completely different, they're like, oh no, it's the Bernie Bros. And so I got onto Twitter, and I'd go to the rallies, and I'd see that there weren't these people that they were saying. They're like, oh, they're all angry white frat boys. No, they weren't. I have pictures on my Twitter account. You can look it up and see. I have like all of this stuff on my Twitter feed that I kept because I thought it was important that it be documented, each thing that had happened. And then once people were like, oh yeah, Russia, 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 that's the other thing that I think is kind of a really big issue that Trump people are having, and people who used to support Bernie and the Democratic Party who are fans of Trump have such an issue with. When you're going after, regardless of who blew what whistle and who said whatever, but when you're killing the messenger and you're not doing anything about the problem and addressing the problem, and you're not saying, wow, why? So we still haven't gotten an answer as to why those, we got a ridiculous answer as to why everything got deleted. And of course, Hillary had no idea, and she unintentionally broke the law on a regular basis and whatever, but we're not going to pay attention to that. No, no, no. Let's go ahead and blame Russia for whatever nonsense. They meddled, they interfered. But in all fairness, like, if I were Russia and I knew that one party wanted to have war with us, and that they were interested in like a nonstop war, and that they were really pushing a certain agenda, and I saw the things that had happened in the previous administration, and I thought that maybe I'd have a chance of not having to go, people attack us and kill us and my people and whatever, then yeah, I could see why they would maybe meddle and do whatever. But in truth, I don't think that they were really trying to be malicious. I think that they were trying to have a chance of not being attacked and whatever, if they were even really involved. And like I said, the Seth Rich thing, how he just was murdered or robbed supposedly, but a lot of the facts kind of didn't quite add up. And there's a guy, I think it's Mike Couch or something on Twitter, he's got a lot of information about that. And the fact that like people get so crazy and they're like, ah! And they scream and freak out whenever you question anything, that's concerning. I mean, we can't question people? We can't wonder about things. We can't have we're not allowed to think differently. That kind of reminds me of like the Catholic religion or religion in general. Like when you're like, so why is, oh no, you're gonna ask questions. That's not allowed. It's forbidden. You can't ask questions. You have to blindly believe. Well, that's crazy to me. And I think a lot of people aren't religious because that's what they were always told, that they weren't allowed to question things and they weren't allowed to feel things. And now we're like, oh, religion, screw them, screw values and whatever. Like, this is what we want, this is what we need. And yeah, I think we've gotten a little extreme on what we do. I've never really been religious, but I see a lot of the benefits of it now, and I see why having self-esteem and values and caring about yourself and not just being like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go be with whoever and do whatever, because if you don't have respect for yourself, how is anyone else gonna have respect for you? And why would a man want to have to do the right thing and want to settle down with a woman or be committed? And if we don't really favor that in our society, we don't look to guys and say, yeah, get married, do this. We're like, no, go get with as many hoes as you can. And women are like, man, I don't care. I should be able to sleep with the man too and do whatever. But at the end of the day, like, we're taking away from families and what really should matter. And that's unfortunate, like, be good, treat others the way you want to be treated, and honesty, whatever. I mean, I guess my biggest thing with the religion and why I've always fought with it is because I never wanted to do things because I had to do them and because I needed to do this in order to get to this point, And, I used to say, like, why would I want to go to a heaven that not everyone has access to? If you don't get to go because you didn't do this, this, and this, I don't know if that's a place that I want to be, And I do agree with that. I think that that's still kind of, intolerance in general. And I think that we don't tolerate intolerance, but in the fact that we're not willing to tolerate it, then we're being intolerant. You know what I mean? Like, we're saying, you have to think this way, you have to be this way, and yeah, this way is better than this way. We do, no, you don't have to get married, no, you don't have to do this, women should be able to do this, and they should be able to have that. And on that same spectrum, we're not really propping up marriage and being in relationships and having a family and that unit, And that's kind of unfortunate. And I feel like this is going to sound awful, but and I'm just thinking this, like, I don't have anything worked out. I don't have the right answers, and I'm not trying to say that there's one way that's better than the other. This is just what I'm seeing and what I've seen so far, and I'm willing to be wrong. And I would like to have a dialogue with people. Like, if you have a different of opinion than me, I'm open for it, okay? Because I feel like I used to be on the other side, and now I'm on this side, and it wasn't. I mean, there was an evolution to that, and I think that when we talk to each other and we have different views, then maybe we can shift our perspectives and say my way's right, I'm this and that, and you're wrong if you think differently. That really shuts down a conversation, and that really shuts down progress. And when you're willing to trust strangers instead of your own neighbors, who you probably could talk to and work things out if you really try to understand them, but like saying all white people are bad, or all black people are bad, or all women, or whatever, all men are this and that, like, you're really limiting yourself, and you're limiting our society and progress. And even like extremist, like extreme groups, I'm not going to say they're evil and they don't make sense and just give up on it, whatever. I actually want to hear what they have to say and why they're saying what they're saying, and I want them to know that, like, we're listening to you. You do have a voice, because I think a lot of extremists are the way that they are because they feel like they're not listened to, and that violence and aggression and whatever is the only way that they can actually get their opinions out. And they've been shut down for so long, and they've been told that their voices don't matter for such a long time, that they became extremists because they got sick of being ignored and they got tired of being called names, So anyway, yeah, I mean, I do support the president, and I guess it's because I know what it's like to not have your voice heard and to be ignored and whatever. And I feel like, personally, the reason why everybody's so against him and the reason why they want the people to be against him is because the politicians are putting certain things out and the media's putting certain things out. Shh, I'm going to say something real quick. Because because there are a lot of corrupt people and they want to keep their agenda and whatnot. So in order to do that, they have to tell you that he's evil. And so the more that politicians, even on like, hold on, are on the same side, are saying this. Yeah, hi. Say hi. Your face is dirty. Can you go clean it? The more politicians and everyone saying, you know, no, he's so bad, he's so bad. Honestly, like, I think it's because they're trying to keep their day job and they want to keep what they're doing and their bad deeds going. And I think that President Donald Trump is questioning things and he's saying, hey, nope, not cool. Like, wait, I don't play that game and I don't have to play the game because I am an outsider, so no. And people feel very threatened by it, and so that's just kind of the gist of it all. Anyway, I've got to go, clearly, because I got things I got to attend to, but I have a lot more opinions, and I feel like I didn't really get to say my thoughts, because I did have more thoughts, but the point of it is that when you try to shut people out, people do become more radical, and they do double down, and a lot of people have felt very ignored for a very long time, and they want change. So I realized like the repercussions and that people might want me to be shut down and not heard, and they might want to make me into a villain because I have a difference of opinion. You know, I have a lot of different opinions, but if I can't say how I feel, then what is the point? You know? If I can't say my thoughts, then that sucks. Like, why can't we talk? I've never really encountered anyone that, except for when I was a kid, and people wanted to fight with me because of the way I looked, but I've never really like encountered. I mean, I have. I guess like there are people that are like, nope, I'm not talking to you. Yes, I want to hurt you and whatever, and I get that, you know, cool. But if we can try and change that, then that might be a good thing. So anyway, just food for thought. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your questions. I really do want to hear what you have to say, and I'd like to know what you think about what I have to say. Hopefully I get to talk to you again soon. Bye.